This wood stove, or Plīts as it is in Latvian, keeps us warm and cosy during winter, heats the whole kitchen for up to 24 hours and runs 100% on renewable energy. Watch this video to find out more. Welcome back, friends. Welcome back to the homestead. As I said, we're in the kitchen, and this is the view that you normally get when I'm making the other videos. But in this video I wanted to talk about this wood stove. It's the central feature here in the kitchen. And this wood stove, as I said, it's called a Plīts in Latvian, can keep this room warm for 24 hours once it's lit, and serves many functions. So as you can see, there's a cooking area, we do washing up here, keep things warm, and like I said, it runs on 100% renewable energy, which of course for us is firewood. And we produce our own firewood from the forest that's around us. And if you're worried about the carbon footprint of that, there's far more trees grow in the area where we live on our land than we possibly use here to generate heat. So let's just look at some of the features of the wood stove in a bit more detail, and I can show you how it works, and then we'll fire it up and we can see how hot it gets. So there's two sets of rings here, primary and secondary. Predominantly we cook on this area, and because of the nature of the stove, each part of the stove heats up to a different level, and that means that we can control different things on it, different pots for cooking potatoes or meat or whatever, and then just for warming stuff back here. And then obviously the outsides are the least warm. And this is a massive piece of masonry basically, and then inside it's lined with fire bricks. And we had this rebuilt a couple of years ago. Over there's an oven, and then at the back here there's a place where we can put water, which is warmed, and then if we need hot water for something else, that's always there. And again, that stays warm for up to 24 hours. This paddle at the back here allows us to control the direction of the heat that comes through the stove, whether we want it to go more over the oven or more staying within the stove and going a different way. It also allows us to keep the heat out over to the side as well. And we just can lift this up to different degrees, like so. And here we keep the tools, obviously for clearing out ash. Got ash scraper. I made this last year with some bits of metal that I found lying around, and obviously a stick from a tree. These other tools we use for controlling the rings on the stove, and whilst they kick up a lot of heat as they are, this is cast iron, we can pull the rings out to reveal more of the bare flame, which can then increase the amount of heat that's on a pot that's there cooking. Like so. I know you've seen this on other videos, but around the side of the stove we've got this oven, and I've used that to cook bread and cakes and other things. Works really well in winter, pizzas. And then we've got the rails around the side, which allow us to hang things on to dry them. Obviously the sides stay warm, so things like obviously in the winter with snow, wet gloves, wet tea towels, even wet shoes, and they'll dry overnight. Down at the front here we've got the main door where the firebox is inside, and there's the grate, and the ashes fall down through into here, and we collect the ashes in there. We've got a special shovel that goes in to collect the ashes, and also we can control the airflow here as well. If we want the fire to burn more fiercely, we can open the door, or we can close the door to restrict the air. Okay, let me show you how to load up the wood stove and then we'll get it lit. When we start the fire, or when it's finished, we use this baffle plate. Obviously I've just opened it because I'm going to start the fire, and then when it's finished I can close it, and then that stops the heat going back up the chimney. Very simple washing up system. We have two bowls where the water is heated from the heat on the stove. One's got the dirty washing in, one is for rinsing, and then they swap round day by day. And once the washing is done, we can put it up on the dryer, and the residual heat from the wood stove will then dry the washing up.